And that's Halsey.
Shh. Quiet on the set. Going live on TV.
Oh, that's scary.
It is about noontime. You are tuned into or have clicked upon or navigated your way to RadioA1A.com, and this is Florida Keys Real Estate Guys Live. And of course, you've got the great possibility today of watching us live on television. Well, it's not really. Not really TV. It's a web stream. So you have two options there. We will get to that information. We better do it now, huh? Harry's going, yes, please do it now. Do it now. So there are two ways that you can watch this program live. One, go to YouTube and type in A1A Media, and that should bring up the feed right there. Lo and behold, like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Meep. So, and then the other option is to go to Facebook and type in Radio A1A, and you can just click on us. Now, that's Jay walking through. One of these days, we're going to get Jay to slow down and grab a seat and tell us about the importance of where we are, which is Heartbreakers Brewery, mile marker 81 on the ocean side in Isla Mirada, and a great location. This fellow sitting next to me here with the subtle shirt, very subtle, is Bill Benson. He will be our money guy on the program. So we will be starting with that in a few minutes. We hope that you can stand by for that. We'll also be talking to Marsha Garrettson from Animal Control in Monroe County. And I don't know how things get so out of control at times. But there are, if you're going to be a pet owner, God bless you. If you're going to adopt or rescue an animal, that's even cooler. But you need to know what your responsibilities are as a pet owner, because just putting it in the backyard and letting it bark all the time is not being a good pet owner. Period. So we'll get to the meat of that. And, no fillers, no corn, no nothing like that, just the good stuff. So we'll talk about that in our second half of the show. Mykael is out supposedly earning his keep, so we'll see him in a little bit. My name is Mark Mills. And the people who make this program possible on Mondays at noon are Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys, which is up at mile marker 103. Ginny Pinnell, the true believer of no surprise closings, which, trust me, as a real estate agent and a realtor, you come down to the wire and you're on that last week where you want to make sure that all of the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and God forbid something goes wrong. That's not what you want a surprise in your life. It's not like birthday surprise. It's more like birthday surprise, heart failure, dead. So Sunshine Title is the place to go where we eliminate all that risk and you enjoy the process of buying your next home. Also, to Keys Space Sprockets, if you need a space sprocket, they're the people to talk to. Look us up on Radio A1A, and Harry will tell you all about Keys Space Sprockets. And, of course, Acme Coyote Eliminator is our third sponsor, and, kind of self-explanatory there. So, coyote problems,
the coyote's check bounced, so we're going to need someone to contact him.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to the Roadrunner. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See ya.
And Wile E. Coyote just got splashed by that bomb, didn't he?
That's it. My favorite was always Wile E. holding up the sign as the shadow of the boulder was coming in on him. It's like, oh, help me.
You wanted him to be able to catch the Roadrunner at least once, even if it was catch and release. You wanted him to get it, the Roadrunner.
Yeah, Roadrunner would turn, give him a big smooch, and poof, gone. But it was relentless. It really was. So, Bill Benson, you have been in the mortgage business I think longer than many people have been alive. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Washington, D.C., ended up in...
We won't hold that against you.
It's a pretty decent place to
Actually,
be a teenager or grow up. But
it's a good place to be an adult. I really enjoyed the Smithsonian.
It is. There's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, there
but
is.
My cousins still live there.
Well then, okay.
I'm in South Florida.
Can't defame them too bad.
No, not
so,
too
right,
bad, but I don't care if I ever have another shovel of snow in my hand as long as I live, Mark.
Boy,
you
there's
know?
a lot of truth in that, Midwestern boy. So,
Blood thins out. You're proud of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gets to
You bet.
like 68 and you put on a jacket down here and nobody
you know what?
cares.
And you know, there's an interesting echo that you get as you get a little bit older down here, and that's the people up north screaming, you know, that it's snowing again, it's cold, it's...
Well, this few years ago, Harry and I were having lunch right up the road at the Irish pub.
Yep.
And
Dylan's.
There
you go.
And the owner, former New Yorker,
I know, Bill.
Bill
Yep.
comes over to the table and he goes, you know what? Today is such a fabulous day.
Yeah.
And it's fabulous like this, like
Beautiful.
it is every day.
Sure.
And so I go, no, Bill, why is it so beautiful today? Because you see up there on CNN, you see all that snow in New York.
Yeah.
He said, that's the perfect time for us to run a commercial on the Florida Keys.
Absolutely.
And you know what? It's
Bill's a smart guy. I always liked him. Bill
he
owned
is.
a liquor store, too, so he was automatically my friend.
Well, you got friends in low places, Mark, and that's just, everybody should have a few, right?
Bill, it's what got me here. I can't fault it, you know. So,
Yeah.
so long time in the money business.
Long time in the money business. Came off active duty as a service warfare officer back at 31 years ago,
Okay.
and got into the mortgage business.
Navy guy.
Navy
Thank
guy.
you for your service.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It was very interesting. Not something I wanted to do for a career, but for 7 years of my life, it
was
fit a
okay.
good purpose.
Yeah.
And started doing loans and have been doing loans in real estate ever since. Prefer the loans over the real estate. Just the way it works. And when you meet people, you've got a real estate license. You sold real estate.
Yeah, sold
And
for years.
it gets down to, what do you really enjoy? I enjoy the loan process.
Well, there is, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're shopping for a house, you're shopping. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
When you are ready to buy a home is generally when you apply for that money.
Well, you know, and that's the historical way that we were all trained to do it years ago. Today, if the borrower does not meet with the money guy or gal up front, you and Mykael don't want to waste your time showing them property.
No.
Because
point.
it's a different time frame. But if I can't tell you what they can afford, how can you
We're
show
all
them
SOL.
anything?
Yeah, pretty
'Cause
much.
the old saying, buyers have Budweiser tastes and champagne. No, it's backwards. Champagne tastes and Budweiser budgets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much true. And so it's, well, I have cash. That's fabulous. All we need is a proof of funds letter from your accountant. Oh, well, I can't seem to get a hold of him today. All right, well then I
Go
guess we're
figure.
gonna finance, right?
Yep.
So we finance the property, and the beauty of this is using leverage. You know, this is real estate 101. You use somebody else's money
Right.
to control the property, and over time you pay it down. So it's a win-win. The lender wins because they gain interest income.
Right.
The borrower wins because they now control a property that historically, you go back 35 years, has increased 3 to 4% of value.
Hopefully
each
the
year.
averages hold, and you know what, you also get the tax deductions from the interest write-off
Correct.
on your mortgage, which is still, hopefully, you know, Congress will maintain that down the road, but, you know,
Well, they've
open
got
to
the
interpretation.
They've got the interest deduction. The thing is, how much is somebody writing off? What are your itemized deductions?
Right.
And so since they doubled for a couple, and
Right.
well, for everybody, it doubled the standard deduction. If you're a single tax filer, it's $12,000 this year, and
Yep.
if you're married filing jointly, it's $24,000.
It's a lot of write-off.
Well, that is, and I think the Congressional Budget Office, not to get too granular here, did a
Right.
study, and they've figured out that 96% of taxpayers were going to benefit from that. Then you've got people that have more write-offs, the self-employed,
Right.
and people that have interest on their primary and their second homes.
Been there, done that.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the real estate taxes, and so you get the opportunity, if the legitimate write-offs are there. I don't remember which Supreme Court justice was the head of the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, a number of years ago.
Warren?
It might have been Oliver Wendell Holmes. This is a while back.
Could have been a few years back.
Well, it was a tax court case got appealed all the way up to them.
Sure.
And the Supreme Court voted in favor of the taxpayer.
Right.
And he wrote the opinion, and in the opinion he stated it is incumbent on every taxpayer to pay the minimal tax they owe based on their legal deductions.
Right.
I think that's a fabulous precedent myself.
Well, it's a pretty good idea. Yeah, look, you don't want to pay more than you should. You wouldn't do that at the gas station. Why are you doing it with the government?
Correct.
Point. So,
back
moving right along, with regards to our current status, where are interest rates at right now? Because I know there's been some fluctuation the last couple of months.
The rates are actually they're in a holding trend now, but they're down 0.75% from where they were back in October.
So we're still in the fours, down in the threes
We're in the mid fours.
Okay.
Again, and of course, a lot of that, there's a ton of variables.
Right.
What's the borrower's credit score?
Right.
Higher the credit score, the rate gets a little better.
Right.
How much down payment are they making?
Sure.
So the higher the down payment, the rate goes down a little bit.
Let me diverge for a moment here. If I want to get an FHA loan, which, conventional FHA, what kind of credit score do I need?
Wow. Well, FHA,
Yeah.
you can actually go down to a 550 credit score with 10% down.
Really?
And FHA will insure the loan
Holy
as
cow.
long as it's properly underwritten and approved.
That's pretty good.
Not every lender will go that low.
Obviously.
But 3.5% down to 580. And here's the real kicker for being where we are in the Florida Keys.
Right.
Maximum FHA loan amount, $529,000.
It's cutting it pretty thin down here.
Well,
When you think about it.
I don't know. I just saw one of Mykael's listings the other day. I was, on the webpage.
Yeah.
And he's got this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little over about 1,080 square foot up on the stilts.
Yeah.
Well, stilts,
So
concrete block pylons.
But it's on Musa. Yeah.
Yeah, on
nice
Musa.
house.
Yeah, 389.
Right.
And you look at that and you know what? 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's got everything you need. 2 covered parking spaces.
So 10% down, you're $40K into it.
Yeah. Well, let's have more fun. 3.5% down.
Even better.
Now you're to let's just say 4% of 416, 15,000 down plus closing costs, and you're in. Now, you're borrowing 15,000, 374,
Right.
ish. Let's say 380 with the upfront mortgage insurance and whatnot.
Right.
Even at 4.5, you've got to probably earn about 125,000 to qualify for that.
Right.
And of course, FHA is a primary residence, just like the VA. And by the way, the VA rates are the same as the FHA rates, which is really good. Right. On the conventional side, rates are in the mid fours, up, and then they move up depending on documentation, purpose. Like for an investment property, you have to put a higher percentage down, and your rate's higher because the risk is higher. You have to have more in reserves in the bank after the closing, that sort of thing.
So with rates being a little bit up, say like into the mid fours, as you're speaking of, are we looking at $650, maybe $700 a month per 100,000 borrowing?
Ooh,
somewhere in that range.
Nobody has ever asked me that question. Now you're getting back to the old days where we had the payment books from the title company, and you just went down and did the
It was always one of the easiest ways to talk to a buyer, was if you look at it in these terms.
Yeah.
You want to make sure somebody's well qualified, but you sit them down and you say, look, if you're looking at borrowing, $300,000 for a home, you're looking at $2,100 a month in mortgage payments.
Well, I'll even make it more granular than that. I took one of the listings Mykael has, the one with the unit down and the 3-2 up for $689. And I did some calculations on that over the weekend, and someone can buy that property. They can put 15% down, and they can have roughly a $2,700, $2,800 a month payment.
Yeah, well, if you think of
that's
having a downstairs rental, that means you're paying $1,200 a month out of your own pocket, roughly.
Yeah, if you got a
To own it.
duplex. And I'm looking at this and going, goodness. Before tax and insurance, you're under $3,000 on almost on a $650,000, $700,000 house in Key Largo.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Again, the coyote with a little sign in the shadow coming over. It's like, why aren't you moving on this?
Exactly.
It really does make sense. And I'll tell you what, folks, I think we're at, we're about 15 minutes after the hour. So we are going to take a break. You are listening to and watching, how about that? Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on Radio A1A across the A1A Media Network. And maybe you're lucky enough to be watching us on YouTube. The screen hasn't cracked yet. These two. Mykael will be joining us soon, I'm sure. Please stay tuned. We'll be back. Like us on Facebook. We'll see you in a minute.
How'd that go?
Southern shores. Throw my cares upon a shelf. Head on off for somewhere else where the weather's always warm. Alvarado, Alvarado.
The Florida Keys is a chain of islands known for its crystal blue waters, famous for sports fishing, world-class diving, and its laid-back atmosphere. Nestled between the Everglades National Park and the National Marine Sanctuary, the Keys are home to a precious and rare ecosystem found nowhere else. Here you will also find world-class dining featuring fresh from the dock seafood, as well as other chef-prepared culinary favorites. The Florida Keys has the feel of a quaint seaside village with a laid-back vibe, taking you worlds away from everyday cares. Stunning coastal-inspired homes line the shores of the islands, offering spectacular sunset views. Whether you start your day taking in the sunrise on your oceanfront veranda or heading out on the water for an adventure, the Keys has something to offer everyone. American Caribbean Real Estate, your Christie's International Real Estate Brokerage, knows that our island lifestyle is just as important as the home, and we are prepared to match you to the right property to fit your lifestyle. As the local Christie's International Real Estate affiliate, we have the powerful backing of the network, including 1,300 offices worldwide, and the only real estate company owned by a premier auction house. This, added to our local market expertise, makes American Caribbean Real Estate the right agency to assist you in finding your piece of paradise in the Florida Keys.
If you're a realtor, or if you're buying a home or selling a home, maybe you're thinking about buying a piece of land to build on. One thing you need to consider in any real estate transaction is title. You want to be sure there are no surprises ahead. Getting clear title and title insurance is the one and only job of Sunshine Title of the Keys. Sunshine Title for escrow, closings, and title insurance done right. Call Jenny at Sunshine Title, 305-451-0032 today.
Hello, this is Michael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate with your Real Estate Conch featured property. Today, spotlighting 125 Venetian Drive in Islamorada. Here, you can enjoy the phenomenal Islamorada lifestyle in this just-built waterfront home. Everything's new. 3 bedrooms upstairs and a separate guest suite downstairs.
Ooh, there's the house we were
features include a stunning granite kitchen, veranda, sumptuous master bath, and a homeowner's park with its rare sandy beach. This is your bucket list opportunity. For more information on this home and other power buys, contact me at 305-439-7730 and visit my award-winning Florida Keys lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com.
We're rocking our way back into the second segment of the program. This is Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on YouTube today, Facebook, a bunch of other platforms, and of course on RadioA1A.com. So kind of all over the place. Harry is just being, I can't pan the camera over there to see him, which maybe is for your good fortune. There you go. Harry's hand in the picture. We've set the bar, folks, so high here, so high. But the bottom line is the A1A Media Network is spreading out.
Yes, we are.
Like a blob. So, Steve McQueen will come back from the grave, telling us to, old movie reference there, not bad.
That was actually
Come with my old
that was a
moments here.
seamless transition.
Not bad.
I thought you did fabulous
Not
on
bad.
that one.
It's hard to believe that I can still pull that junk out of this gray encrusted wasteland. But moving right along, my name is Mark Mills. Mykael Marinelli should be here eventually. Kind of hoping. Tick-tock, Mykael. My watch is gone, so. But he's out showing property, so you can't fault the guy. He's trying to earn a living. In his stead, Bill Benson has become our money guy, and talking about borrowing money. We were trying to get down to sort of the nitty-gritty, granular. I like that, good expression. Sort of like the grit in your teeth after you leave the dentist's office. But the bottom line is judging how much your house is going to cost you on a per month basis for every $100,000 that you borrow. Old lending thing, but semi-accurate still to this day. But you got to know your interest rates, the other things walking into it, what your costs are on top of it. Another area that we spoke of, now this is not all our alternative documents or what was it?
Alt docs.
Alt
or
docs.
Alternative documentation.
Okay. For loan justification, correct? Is that what you're looking at?
Every loan that's residential today,
Right.
whether it's a primary residence, a vacation home, called a second home, or an investment property,
Right.
if you're going through the government agencies is going to end up with the loan, you've got to show the ability to repay. That's part of the Dodd-Frank
Kind of
law
a big
from
deal.
10 years ago. Yeah. Well, you go back 15 years ago, the Ninja Fog the Mirror loan. If you had a pulse, bump, you got the loan,
You
right?
got $500,000.
Or you got 14 investment condos on Brickell that all ended up in foreclosure, like a colleague of mine. And we asked him a few years ago, why did you do that? He said, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Well, it's we don't even know have to go where. Is there some things that maybe in the past you thought were a good idea at the time that on reflection you might not have done? Anyway, that's everybody and everywhere.
Pretty much, yeah.
But the alternative documentation that's really just growing like gangbusters right now, and it's really old school lending.
It's working out.
Bank statements.
Right.
We take either personal or business bank statements. We can go 12 or 24 months depending on the program. And we look at the cash flow. Now, this is only for self-employed borrowers.
Right.
So, but the cool thing about that is if you're we were talking about taking legal tax deductions before the break. If you're a self-employed borrower, you typically have many more deductions you can take from your business, your pass-through to your personal, than you can as a W-2 salaried employee.
Okay.
Well, if I've got somebody that is showing $50,000 a year in taxable income,
Right.
but there's more than $250 gross into the business, and they've just got a lot of write-offs.
Right.
If we analyze the cash flow through the bank statements, now we've got somebody that can afford to buy that $500,000, $750,000 house.
Well, it makes sense.
But it does. It's all it's
absolutely.
common sense lending, which is what we used to do years ago in the mortgage business. But that kind of went out the window.
There was that little period in the
between
middle
2002 and 2006 where it was no common sense. Exactly.
Yeah.
But so we can do bank statements.
Okay.
And we can do that for primary and second homes, investment properties. People
Excellent.
can take title to properties in limited liability companies.
Okay.
Business purpose loans. The business purpose is that they're renting out the property. They're the landlord.
Right.
We can do loans on what are called non-warrantable condos, which means that they haven't been approved by the secondary market
Right.
to be able to be lent on.
Condo-tels.
Condo-tels
jump over to
also.
that.
So a condo-tel, if the audience doesn't know this,
Yeah.
is a form of condominium where you own the hotel room
Right.
or you own the unit. But you put it in the rental pool and you get income from it.
Right.
So it's more of an investment property than it is a second home.
Right.
All right. So as long as it's got a bedroom and as long as it's got a stove and an oven,
Right.
and you've got it's basically a condo that
Right.
that you can rent out.
Okay.
And they manage for you. We have product for that as well, which
Excellent.
can be a difficult loan to find.
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, kind of scarce in a lot of places. I always encourage people to, when you're down here, especially, but if you reach out to your to a real estate agent, reach out. You want a local real estate agent, you want a local realtor, you want a local lender as well. So, because these guys know the lay of the land, and I mean, there are, as many as there are churches in a small southern town, there are reasons to be wary about who you're borrowing money from, who you're working with as a real estate agent, and that type of thing. Whenever you're in a community like this, so you know what I mean. Go with reputation. That's important, and go with the facts. Common sense. It's a great approach. Bill, I know that you were kind of setting. I don't want to say new boundaries, but working with me, you probably should. But how do people reach out to you if they're looking for money solutions right now?
Two best ways to get a hold of me.
Okay.
First would be my cell number.
Okay.
305-321-7760.
Okay. Easy enough.
I've had that for 25 years.
All right. No wrong numbers there. Right.
And then my email address, Web Mortgage.
Oh, cool.
WEB, those are my initials,
Right.
William E. Benson.
Yeah.
Mortgage, MORTGAGE, @gmail.com.
Cool. Webmortgage@gmail.com.
Yeah, I mean, when I was born, there was no such thing as AOL or the internet, and my parents were prescient enough to give me a name with those initials, Web Mortgage.
Bill, thank you so much.
Mark, it's
Welcome
been
to
a
the
pleasure.
program. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Harry, we're going to send it back to you. We're going to take another break, folks. Stick with us. You are watching the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys and listening at the same time. Isn't that amazing? We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate with your Real Estate Conch featured property. Today, spotlighting 756 Musa Drive in Key Largo. This elevated and updated 3-bedroom, 2-bath home is ready to go. The ideal spot to create your own Keys sanctuary. Loads of extras, including new open kitchen, metal roof, new flooring, veranda, new train AC, and community boat ramp. Exceptional storage for your boat and all your toys. It's the perfect Key Largo location, close to the mainland, yet a world away. For more information on this home and other power buys, contact me at 305-439-7730 or visit my award-winning Florida Keys Real Estate and Lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com.
Keys folks, it's that time of year again. You are running every which way you can, and it seems like you just cannot keep up. That's right, it's season. Not that season. Tax season. Hi, this is Mark Mills. For the last 10 years, Marshall Walker and his team at H&R Block in Key Largo, you know, the one over by the Publix. Well, they have done my taxes through thick and thin. H&R Block has been there for me, and they have won my taxes. Let H&R Block in Key Largo, next to the Publix, get your taxes won. The end of tax season is nigh. Call now, 305-451-2562.
Harry's rocking us back into the third segment of the program. This is Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on Radio A1A and on YouTube at A1A Media, Facebook at Radio A1A. There's a bunch of other places too, and I've forgotten all of them at this point in time. So go with those two because those are the basics, and they will work. This lovely woman who has just sat down next to me, I have no idea who she is, so let's find out, shall we? Marcia Garrettson is the Director of Animal Control for Monroe County, and she also runs the Upper Keys Animal Shelter,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
God, you know, first of all, thank you. This has got to be a brutal job at times that you don't really get to see people in their best light, do you?
Yeah, your day goes up and down. You get to see angry people and then really happy people.
That's putting it mildly, I'm sure. So, best part of the job. Let's start there.
The most important part of the job of what we do is we provide free spay and neuter for our community for about 21 years. So I have data, 21 years of data that show the number of animals that are coming into the shelter go down every year from a high of 1,642
Holy
in 2001 to 452 in 2018.
So you reduced it by 300%.
Yeah. So their goal is to obviously not have a need for an animal shelter. There always will be.
I'm
so
sure.
we address the pet overpopulation problem because we can fix that.
How often do you do the free spay and neuter?
At least twice a month, sometimes
Okay.
3 times a month.
All right. Is there a website where people can go to stay posted on that, or how do
They can call us, and
Okay.
I schedule them for our area from mile marker 70
Okay.
to Ocean Reef. The stretch 112 is the area that I cover.
But, speaking of areas that you cover, what are kind of the basic responsibilities that we just got a dog. We just adopted, a rescue pet, and I mean, we're having a blast. I'm on blood thinners, so it's the puppies are a little rough on you folks, but they're puppies. I was talking with a friend of mine on the phone, and I told him because he has had rat terriers for a long time, and what we got was a Jack Russell rat terrier mix. And I mean, this dog is like 9 months old and can literally, from on the ground, leap higher than this table. Just like jumps up. So, and the idea of going down, off, immaterial. You're talking to a block of wood.
That's a very high energy breed.
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
And very agile.
What are the responsibilities of somebody who takes on a pet? I mean, is there a nutshell way of looking at this, or
When we want to adopt a pet to someone, we want to make sure they're familiar with the breed of dog that they're
Okay.
getting or cat, that it's a companion animal. So these animals need to provide love,
Right.
food,
Right.
veterinary care, shelter, keep them inside as
Yeah.
one of the family. That's what we want for
treat them as
for
a member
people.
of the family,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I mean, really, it's there are several laws that govern pet ownership, are there not?
Yes, as animal services providers, we enforce all the Monroe County laws pertaining to animals and Florida state laws
Okay.
for our service area.
What about somebody who's got a Barky McBark dog next door or something like that that's out, just barks all day and all night? I mean, that's against the law, correct?
Yes, we normally recommend that you just talk to your neighbor and let them know what's going on, unless the dog is being neglected
Right.
or living outside with no shelter and water or on a tether, which is a violation of all the animal protection laws.
Well, Marcia, is that? I mean, when you think about it, I mean, is that almost an assumption that people can make? Not that assumptions makes an ass of you and me. Yes, I get it, but I mean, that if somebody's got a dog and it's out there barking its poor little off all day long and all night long, it's probably being abused.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotionally probably, and the dog just needs to go inside, but not inside in a cage, but
Right.
inside as a family member.
Right.
And if they're outside for a long period of time barking, we usually get those type of calls, especially the time of year where it's cool out and people have their windows open. And so we just tell the people that they need to bring their dog in, and then we check for all the other local ordinances to make sure they're in compliance with,
Right.
vaccinations, rabies vaccinations and licensing, and
That type
most
of thing.
important, that they don't reproduce, because we're trying to prevent pet overpopulation.
Sure. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. With regards to, some of the other things that people, I see a lot of people walking dogs and they never have a bag with them.
Yeah, they're responsible to pick up.
Pick up the poop.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and that's against the law, is it not?
Correct,
You can't leave
yeah.
your animals waste in somebody else's yard.
Correct, and
You know.
it's respectful to your neighbors to abide by that.
This is 2019, Marcia. I'm afraid that one got a cab and left town. So, I mean, it sure does seem like it anyway.
And those are the basic, county ordinances not to let your dog run at large.
Right. Well, yeah, that's absolutely, the wrong thing to do, correct?
Yeah, that's when you see things happen, when animals get a hold of a person or another small dog.
It's never good. It's never good. I mean, is it really boiled down to common sense?
Most of it, yes.
Yeah.
Humane education, yes.
Okay. Now, with regards to the shelter, I want to talk more about that in a few minutes and sort of what the scope is of what you guys do up there. Because you are involved in, shall we say, rehoming animals,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
So if I've got, gosh, I think in my small neighborhood of 4 or 5 blocks, I'll bet there are 30 animals easily, because there's quite a few homes that have 2 dogs, and they're fenced yards and whatnot, but they're there, and they can be pretty noisy at times, but one of my neighbors likes to let his kids walk their dog without a leash. Also not really advisable either, is it?
No, it's against county code. You have to have a leash on your dog.
Yeah. Okay. So have a leash on your pet. Better have that bag along to pick up some poop. That's always a good idea.
And make sure that there's somebody that is responsible enough attached to that leash.
Yeah.
Because things can still happen if they lose
Not
control.
intending the dog, right? But the human on the other end should be responsible as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. What are we at time-wise here? We're at 12:36. Do we have another break in us, Harry? Okay, we're going to pay some more bills. And I also want to mention that H&R Block is still on with us, are they not? We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stay with us. You are watching and listening to Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on Radio A1A, on YouTube, and on Facebook. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
If I had my way, I'd set sail right away. Destination southern shores. Throw my cares upon a shelf. Head on off for somewhere else where the weather's always warm.
Hello, Radio A1A listeners. This is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate. Let me ask you, are you tired of the same old real estate agents doing the same old stuff the same old way? I provide a level of service that most agents can't, don't, or won't. Contact me to find your piece of paradise here in the Florida Keys, or to assist you in finding a great agent nationwide. As part of the Christie's International Real Estate Network, I've got a team of agents that can take care of you no matter where you are. So no matter what your real estate needs are, with 22 years of service, contact me, Mykael Marinelli, the real estate conch of American Caribbean Real Estate, at 305-439-7730, or visit me at my award-winning Florida Keys Real Estate and Lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com. I look forward to working with you soon.
Monroe County Bail Bonds is a local family-owned and operated bail bonding agency in the Florida Keys, fully licensed and serving residents and visitors for over 20 years.
3-day getaway down in the Florida Keys. This time Duval Street got the best of me. I argued with the cop. He said I was speeding, that I really ran out of luck. When my girlfriend leaned over and whispered real loud, he's stubborn when he's drunk. I came here on vacation. I'm going home on probation.
That's right. There's always an agent on call 24/7 at Monroe County Bail Bonds. Call us when you need us with 2 locations. Tavernier at 305-852-3268 or Key West at 305-296-7724 or go to FloridaKeysBail.com.
Going home on probation.
Hey y'all, this is Eric Stone. Join me on the sailing adventure of a lifetime on board the Windjammer Mandalay, July 14th through the 20th, to the beautiful island of St. Lucia. Use the discount code Eric Stone, all one word, and save $275 per cabin. For more information, visit catamaranconcerts.com or email Terry, Terry, at catamaranconcerts.com.
Catamaran concert sounds like a really good time. Looking for a good time on the water? I think that that whole thing that he's got going on, really interesting stuff. So, and it's a great big old sailboat, correct?
And Eric Stone, who is a veteran of the music business and sailing, all that part of the Caribbean, is your guide to a private view of unbelievable things you'll never experience again in your life.
God only knows what's going to happen on that cruise, folks. I'm telling you.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So welcome back to the program. I am Mark Mills. You are listening to the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live. We're listening and watching. This lovely gal here is Marcia Garrettson, the director of the Upper Keys Animal Shelter and Humane Society as well. Is that
we're all humane societies.
Okay.
Any facility that houses animals, or it's a generic term.
Now you mentioned a term when before we went away on break called voice command. You know, and that is something that was sort of assumptive behavior before, wasn't it? That
Yes.
You know, I mean, that was the idea. You should have voice command of your pet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
Not-
unfortunately, many people don't. So recently, the county has changed the law. I haven't been notified officially that you need to be attached. A competent person needs to be attached to their animal.
Have a leash.
With a leash.
Right. Okay. Particular type of leash, or doesn't matter?
I don't know what they're going to pass if it's a certain amount of feet. Personally, the extendo leashes that people use,
Yeah.
a lot of times if they don't know how to use it, they can lose control of the animal even though they're attached to
Very
it.
quickly.
And we've seen things happen to the
yeah.
animal.
We'll get to more of that in just a moment. My gal and I disagree a little bit, but we're working it out on raising our puppy. And, you know, I mean, okay, you said something very nice. I have this soft voice. But, you know, in years of smoking Marlboros and drinking a lot of Chivas Regal, which I switched to Johnny Walker Red. But you know, it kind of gives you that, I can kick your, you know, I mean, so you learn to use your voice, you know, years of radio and theater. So for me, what I've tried to do with our dog is to have that voice command, that if I raise my voice to a certain level or say something in a certain way, that dog drops everything and hits the deck. It stops because there's danger. Is my you know, not from me, but you know, if she gets off leash and goes towards the street, I want to stop her. You know, and you know what?
And that's correct.
Yeah,
a correct way to.
I'm not really able to run after her anymore. You know, so just so you know, folks. You know, and so I mean, to me, that's real important. I mean, I think you have to have that voice command, but I think a leash is absolutely imperative.
Yes.
Got to have
yes.
it.
And
So-
for training, you know, all positive reinforcement, whether or not it be treats or, you know, physical, you know, petting the dog, good dog, repetition.
Right.
You know.
Reinforcement.
Yes.
Yep.
And any negative reinforcement should not be physical. It should be verbal, like you're changing your voice.
Right.
You know, so the animal realizes that they're doing something negative.
They react remarkably. I mean, just like a child does. You know, I mean, the tail goes down between the legs. You know, they kind of hunch up like, oh boy, you know, I'm in deep weeds now. You know, I mean, Dr. McClellan is over there going, oh yes, I've done that with Halsey a time or two. So, you know, he's, yeah. Well, but I mean, I can't stress that enough. That voice command, it will, you know, I mean, you need that plus the leash.
Yes.
I think it's a two-stage type of disciplinary thing to establish with your pet, because God forbid they do get off the leash. You know, I mean, you want to be able to stop them in their tracks right now.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
now, and is that being voted on? Is there being legislated on?
I believe
or-
they had a meeting last week, so
Okay.
I'll probably be notified in
No,
writing.
who's they? Is it BOCC?
The county
or-
commission, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So we'll find out soon, and,
Yes.
and you'll be our street reporter and get back to us and let us know. That,
Okay.
Cool. I like that idea. There is a situation that took place with our dog. This was a couple weeks ago, and we were walking around a public park. Not going to say which one, but there are baseball diamonds there. If you know the area, you know what I'm talking about. And big crowd, and there was an individual there with her daughter, and they had two very large. Now, what's your feeling on the term aggressive breed?
There's a lot of people that feel certain breeds are more aggressive or strong. They're strong dogs, powerful dogs. When you have two dogs that are large breed dogs, any large breed dog, if you lose control of them, or if you have somebody that's not competent to walk them, and they see a cat running or a small dog running, what we typically see, hear about many times is that they lost control and the two dogs got into pack mode and went after another dog, resulting either in severe injury to the animal and the person trying to break up the fight. That's the most common animal control call that we get, especially in the evenings or on the weekends.
Okay. And I mean, there's, I'd love to mix this kind of stuff in, so bear with me. But Chris Rock used to say in regards to Siegfried and Roy, the tiger did not go crazy. The tiger went tiger. The tiger did what tigers do.
Yes.
The dogs aren't going crazy. The dogs are doing what the dogs do. They are, they are pack animals. They are all like in descent, correct? They're all from They're all from wolves, and that's the way wolves act naturally. So you should never ever let go of that understanding that these animals, while domesticated, will resort to their internal their instincts. In any given situation, if you're not in charge of them.
Correct. And even if you have a dominant, like a male dog, if they're unneutered, then that could also cause a problem.
Bad night of dating, yes.
Or two intact male dogs, could get into a dog fight. And, of course, the larger the breed, the more damage that can be created.
Sure. Well, and I mean, in this particular situation, these two dogs were on my little Jack Russell in seconds. I mean, literally seconds, and had we not, a gentleman, at the park got into it, he got a hold of it, pulled the little girl out of the whole mix who was holding one of the leashes, and, the mother had the other one, and, we had our dog, and, I mean, it was a melee. It was insane.
And that's all preventable by a competent person who hold on to their dog, proper training.
Absolutely. I mean, and it was literally in the blink of an eye that it took place, too. I mean, I cannot stress enough, and of course this woman told me that her dogs weren't aggressive. Excuse me, but your dogs were about ready to floss with my dog. I call that aggressive behavior.
Many people say that, but they were acting aggressive at that time.
Right.
And they need to know that if their dog is dog aggressive, it shouldn't be out in public either.
No, well,
with,
but I
with
mean,
other dogs.
it is instinctual, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can't really argue with that. You can't breed it out of a dog. It's going to be there. It's in its DNA. And so you have to provide a safety net for that animal. It's your responsibility.
Correct. Yeah.
I really.
And is that sorry, I came in kind of late. Is that the advocation of a muzzle when you're taking them out, or?
No, if you have an incident with your dogs and they can be aggressive with other dogs, then you really need to avoid taking them out where there's a whole bunch of dogs, like a doggy park. Mm-hmm. You can seek out training with a professional trainer that can help you and advise you. Make sure the dogs are fixed, because that's another issue with intact animals.
Sure.
They become that way.
Right.
Well,
training goes a long way. I remember with our dog, we had proper training, and boy, what a difference it made.
Did you guys have a Malamute? What did you have?
No, what we had was, unfortunately, he passed away, but we had a Samoyed.
Samoyed.
Which is a Russian dog.
Same idea, though.
Yes, same idea.
Right.
Incredibly smart dogs, but at first he was a little rambunctious and wild, and he was a little aggressive with some other dogs. We took him for training, and boy, what a difference did that make.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, then, we had him neutered as well, which certainly took out some of the, I guess, testosterone that we gentlemen are known for.
You guys didn't fight over the remote anymore.
Yeah,
or anything
exactly,
like that, right?
exactly. I know my wife wants to do the same with me, but that's a whole different subject.
The guy shows up, Marcia, and
I know sometimes the people that bring their animals in for free spay and neuter.
You're wondering who they should,
The guys are kind of like.
But
we get nervous when that topic is
proper
brought
training
up,
goes a long,
I'd
long
like
way.
to see everybody like that.
Sure.
Then
Made a
there wouldn't
difference.
be any problems, and the less animals in our community, the less problems that I've had over the years.
Right.
Because there's not. Lots of puppies and homeless animals that we're taking in every year with, that you're trying to rehome.
Animals have that. And back to instincts again. However, you're looking at the idea that if an animal produces a pair of animals produce a litter, they're going to take care of their litter, and they're going to be aggressive about it. If they see a threat, if they sense a threat. So, instincts are a big deal. And as a pet owner, it is your responsibility
absolutely
to see that pet is A, controlled, and B, protected.
Right.
Both ways. So,
Yes.
some of the things that people don't anticipate needing, yet invariably they always do need when they become a pet owner might be.
Some things they.
Well, what's the last thing that a person thinks of when they're going to become a pet owner, but it should be higher on the list, if you can think about it. It's when the one thing that they always forget, I know we talked about, a leash, voice command, always having a poop bag with you. But
when they're seeking out a pet, you want to make a match. You want to make sure that their lifestyle goes with the type of, if it's a dog, the type of dog.
Right, how true.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Because that's how we interview people when they're coming in to look for a particular kind of dog.
Right.
Where do you live? Is an apartment? Do you have a fenced-in yard?
Right.
Are you familiar with the breed? And one of the most exploited breeds, or the most exploited breed and abused breed, is the pit bull.
Right.
And misunderstood.
Well, it's been inbred so much, too, and what people have used it for, that it's created this persona. They're actually a pretty decent dog.
They're a wonderful dog,
and really great. But I think you're right. It's so important to match your dog to what you're going to do. I know labs are extremely good with children.
Yeah.
We had some, or like I say, matching it. I'd probably say also vaccinations. Keep up with those. Medical
veterinary
things.
care. We talked
veterinary
about
care.
that.
So critical.
Always. I can't thank you enough. There's kind of the ABCs of pet ownership, and your last point will not fall on deaf ears, because the bottom line is it's not go to the pet store and go, oh, isn't that cute? Let's take one home. It really put some time into it. Yellow legal pad.
Right.
Sit down. Where do I live? How big is my house? Am I an apartment? Am I a renter? Am I an owner?
Right.
Do I have 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours
That's
a
a great-
day?
that's
to
a great
spend,
question, too.
That much time with my pet.
Yes, all those are common questions that we ask.
After the novelty wears off.
Oh, it's huge.
Because so many times a guy buys a pet or a little dog for his lady, or vice versa, and the novelty is great, but then after a period of time and the upkeep it requires, and I've seen this firsthand so many times.
Mayday.
Mayday, and that ends up being more of a liability than the joy that it can bring to someone who's really going to take care of it.
What we as shelters, the dogs that we get are usually 8 months to a year,
right?
Where people buy puppies and then they don't realize what a responsibility it is, and they relinquish the animal.
Right. That happens.
It's just heartbreak.
Yeah. And you just don't turn animals away from your area. You have to take all animals in.
Yeah.
But to prevent more from being born,
sure,
you
exactly.
spay and neuter your pet. Please spay and neuter your pet.
I saw a statistic with cats. Just one pair of cats, like exponentially. It's scary. I forget what the numbers were. in exponentially how it just explodes, and the percentage of those that are going to wind up on the streets.
Yeah.
Which is really, really when you have 2 feral cats. So you can just imagine. It's probably the same with dogs as well. Just getting these animals off the street, get them spayed, get them neutered, and find living homes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Marcia, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it. This is cool. Marcia Garrettson, the director of the Upper Keys Animal Shelter, and also spay and neuter. You do it a couple of times a month?
Yes,
so
for free. It's a privately funded spay and neuter clinic.
Wow, awesome.
You have a website or a phone number? What's better?
The phone number.
Okay.
We pick up the phone, 305-451-0088.
Okay. 451-0088, area code 305, for spay and neuter services, gratis.
Yes.
But always leave a tip. And I know, horrible joke, right? But, always, if you can make a donation, it's really important. So
Great cause.
Well, totally, as far as I'm concerned. So do we have one more in us? All right, we'll
Yes,
take
we
one
do.
more break, folks, and then we're going to come back. Michael's going to tell us
talk
about
some real estate.
great property.
Yes, we are.
If I had my way, I'd set sail right away. Destination southern shores. Throw my cares upon a shelf. Head on off for somewhere else where the weather's always warm.
Hello, this is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate with your Real Estate Conch featured property. Today, spotlighting 125 Venetian Drive in Islamorada. Here, you can enjoy the phenomenal Islamorada lifestyle in this just-built waterfront home. Everything's new. 3 bedrooms upstairs and a separate guest suite downstairs. Exceptional features include stunning granite kitchen, veranda, sumptuous master bath, and a homeowner's park with its rare sandy beach. This is your bucket list opportunity. For more information on this home and other power buys, contact me at 305-439-7730 and visit my award-winning Florida Keys lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com.
Can I get a little? There we go. Hello, and now we can hear me. There we go. Mark's going thing. Hey, folks, you can hear me, but you can't see me, which isn't too bad of a thing because what you're going to see is some great properties. Mark, like I said, was carrying the show for us pretty well. I came in late, but we've got some great properties. I was at one that we're probably going to be getting an offer for, but I still want to tell you about it because, it's not over till you know who sings. So we're still going to be marketing it. And this one is on, it's in Islamorada. And if you're watching, you can certainly see some of the beautiful pictures. It's on Old Highway, which is on what we call Millionaires Row. It's a beautiful property. It's currently listed for $669,000. We just took an adjustment down there. It's got a beautiful pool, crystal clear waterfall. I call it almost resort quality in the backyard. There's a huge tiki. So if you're entertaining, this is the property for you. These folks did a soup to nuts renovation, pulled out the floors, pulled out the kitchen, the bathrooms, and renovated like nobody's business. It looks phenomenal. It shows wonderfully. And they redid, as you can see here, the beautiful master bedroom, the master bath. They did a great job. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, brand new metal roof, new floors, new impact windows and doors that are less than 2 months old. So great property. Again, $669,000, which is a phenomenal price for a 12,000 square foot lot home in the heart of Islamorada. So really great one to consider. Another property. Which one are we going to do, Harry? We're going to do. This is the granddaddy. This is one of the most amazing properties I've ever had the privilege to list. This is a bayfront estate in Key Largo. There's a main house, as you can see, we're driving up to it, and a guest house, and it is on the bay. It is gorgeous. It has a
awesome house.
It is. It's and the cool thing is, as you can see, as we're coming in an aerial into it, the dock has a seaplane dock. The name of the property is called Aero Largo, and it's got 4 bedrooms, main house plus the guest house. Gorgeous pool. It's been the site of quite a few commercials and fashion shoots. Fantastic. It's got the big boy price, but for folks looking on the international stage, it is more than worth it. It's $3,699,000.
Would you like me to talk, Mr. Gold?
Yes, exactly.
Hello, Mr. Bond. I would like to
die. But, you put this property, as we mentioned, in Hawaii. You put it in some of the islands. You're looking at about $10 million property.
Easily.
So, as I always say, the Keys are a phenomenal value.
Yeah.
Speaking of phenomenal value, we have another one in Isla Mirada that we're going to talk about in the White Marlin Beach subdivision, which has its own sandy beach.
Beautiful.
In Isla Mirada. This is at 125 Venetian Drive, which is, as I mentioned, in Isla Mirada, mile marker 74. It's got 70 feet of dockage. It's just been completed. So it's a brand new home. It's got a metal roof. It's got 3-bedroom upstairs plus a separate legal detached guest suite.
That is such
so
a cool
if you've got guests,
subdivision,
man,
too.
it is awesome. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. The kitchen is to die for. All granite and beautiful wood. You go out to the dock, as I mentioned, 70 feet of dockage. And the most beautiful thing is their homeowners park. You can go there, sit on the sandy beach. The water is phenomenal. And just a great Isla Mirada location. You're close to great fishing beyond Channel 5 Bridge. So if you have a big masted boat, you can easily get out to great fishing. And as I mentioned, that one is currently priced. We just adjusted that one to $1,175,000.
Nice.
So some great properties. We got some other ones coming as well. Another great one I don't have the pictures on right now, but that's my really phenomenal entry-level property in Key Largo. That's 756 Musa, which is under $400,000 for a 3-3 with a metal roof, brand new kitchen, brand new
Benson
floors.
and I were talking about how to finance
Man, that is
Great way to
you
go.
talk about if you want to be part of the Keys dream, what a great entry-level price to be able to get in there.
That's
So,
awesome.
there's some great properties that are here. I've got a couple other ones that are going to be coming on the market very shortly as well. In fact, one on the mainland. So, of course, we do the Keys, but I'm also picking up a really nice estate out in the Redlands.
Ladies and gentlemen, the guy does it all.
Yeah.
He absolutely does. So, and actually, I think we're out of time. Yep. So
Yeah,
we gotta wrap
that's
this
a bit
up.
it. Great.
Thank you for diving in
Yes,
at the end there,
absolutely.
buddy. Got
Yeah.
all of his real estate listings in there. We like that when that happens.
You know
we
what?
will catch you next Monday in video and audio. See you then.
Glad to see you in Tropical Vibes.
That was. I really enjoyed that. That was good. Good play-by-play.
Yeah, I like the.
If I had my way, I'd set sail right away. Destination